Hello everyone, and welcome back to Giants Valley, my early access prehistoric kingdom zoo based in Tanzania. And as you can see, we're in front of the Protoceratops enclosure again, but we've seen them a while ago, but what we haven't seen is some of the stuff behind them. So you can see there's a big aviary, there's a lot more trees in the background, and like some new buildings there, so let's obviously go and check it out. So yeah, we have this aviary. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and it's like only possible because of the scaling in this game. As you can see, like it's pretty much this curved, kind of droopy net structure, which is supposed to represent it is based on an actual aviary at the Ugandan Wildlife Education Center. I believe there they have two actually, one for shoe bulls, I know that one, and then I think the other one is for crown crane. So I'll try and find some pictures so put on screen so you can see. But yeah, in here we have some microraptors being housed. Because I believe we have Archaeopteryx already in the front. So yeah, this is the other. I don't know what do you call the thing with the flying animals? I don't know what's the name for the enclosure thing, but you know what I mean. These exhibit mini aviaries. That's what it is, the mini aviaries. Yeah, we have a pair of microraptors in here, and like I said, this is only possible because of the scaling, which is really good. So like, I could take these pieces, these mesh pieces, and then like scale them up and down so they fit these little modules, and then get a nice little thing there. A little weird on the top. I maybe need to fix it up. You can see there's some gaps there, so I can touch it up a little bit, but otherwise, if you like from a distance, you don't even notice. That's it. So yeah, we can stop the microraptors in here. We give them a little house. It was a little tricky to put this tree in. It's kind of a little bit too big. You can see the branches are slightly sticking up, but it fits, it's fine. Yeah. Back here we do have the staff entrance, so just open this door, go through there, double gate. Come in the aviary. And this path is like getting back here to the Protoceratops and the Nasutoceratops enclosure. And it does go to this new enclosure we built, which I think we should check from the guest side first. So yeah, as we come along here, we can see we can walk into the new wetlands area, I guess. It's not really a dedicated area, it's just a bunch of exhibits with a lot of water. We'll see in this episode. But yeah, first of all, we have our Tyrannosaurus, which is an alt skin for the Parasaurolophus. Now I know parasaurs probably weren't super aquatic, like as initially hypothesized. Like they thought this big old early paleontologists thought that this big old thing on the back of their heads was a snorkel, so maybe they were adapted to aquatic life. But it's more likely a thing used for vocalizations in them. But yeah, since we don't have any other animals that really be suited for a semi-aquatic kind of lifestyle, I decided just maybe the keeper was feeling nostalgic and saw an old textbook and threw a parasaur in this enclosure. Hopefully in the future we can get something like Baryonyx or another Spinosaurid or something, and I can put them in here, take this guy out, so then it would be more fitting, get an animal more reliant on water. Yeah. I think this would also work well if we had like a crocodilomorph like Sarcosuchus or Deinosuchus, but I don't think crocodilians or crocodilomorphs are planned for early access. Maybe far in the future when we get like DLCs or something. But yeah, for now we have a big old hadrosaur walking about in here, just the one male. And if we turn around over here, we have an enclosure for Psittacosaurus. Now, these I believe are Sibericus, right? Yeah, Psittacosaurus Sibericus. So we have two Psittacosaurus in the zoo, the other one's all the way in the front. But yeah, I really like this small enclosure. It's kind of, again, based on something at the Ugandan Wildlife Education Center. An enclosure for crocodiles, only that one has a lot more water. This one I just dried it up. Small little pond. And put some Psittacosaurus in there. Should be two of them. I don't know where's the other one. Must be sleeping. There it is. Oh, I didn't see that. Ignore that. that needs to be cleaned up. But yeah, we've got a nice little shelter over here. It's a gate for keepers to come in. And they also got their nice little waterfall, little pond. Yeah, and someone's taking a little snooze. We'll check out, there's some like backstage stuff there, we will check it out later, because that does connect to a few other enclosures. And if we walk along this path, you will see that this is another way you can view the Ceratops. There's another pathway going across here. So you see that's like the main viewing structure, but here we can see the other enclosures. So, before walking down there, I do want to take a bit of a detour around this path. So you can see the our Tyrannosaurus. And then on this side, we got enclosure for our Deinocheirus, who are both at the back of the enclosure, but we can see one over there. Don't worry, we'll get a closer view of them in a little bit. For the time being, let's focus down this pathway. So we did see these enclosures over here last episode, but that was just kind of me quickly glancing over them. Now we can check them out in more detail, look inside of them, so why not? But yeah, as we walk down this path, we come to the big road. So there's a bathroom, and this is the road that leads to our mammal section we saw earlier. This pathway goes up to our Smilodons, and this is to some backstage. Yeah, oh, there it is. Actually got to see it. So we have two Dilophosaurus enclosures. I am pretending this one is a Dracovenator just because, you know, I like African dinosaurs. I'm just gonna, if I can pretend a dinosaur is an African dinosaur, I'm pretending that's one. Yeah, it scurried off back into the bushes. I said last episode, I really like these enclosures because I wanted them to be super dense and packed with foliage, so you might like not ever see the dinosaurs in them. At least this one. This one's a lot more dense than the other enclosure, which we walk down this road. And see, yeah, see this one opens up a little bit more. We have a nice little pond, but there we have our two Dilophosauruses. Still hiding in the bushes though. Yeah. Let's walk around along the road. Oh, we gotta see them up in the clearing. Taking a drink. Yeah, let's walk along the road. We saw last episode, this is the elevated walkway that goes past the Smilodons. There's our lions. I think this is the European one. Yeah, European lion. Not good focus on that. If you want to see the mammal section, you can watch the last episode. But yeah, let's walk around here, and here we have the backstage access to enclosure. So yeah, here's the backstage enclosure for the Tyrannosaurus. I did want to have like a little separate fenced off area because in the future I do want to put theropods in here, just like baryonyx or something. So it'll make more sense to have a holding pen that's separate from the entire enclosure, so when keepers want to go in here, they won't get eaten, obviously. And similar setup with the Dilophosaurus. So we have this little pen over here you can lure them into. You can have little motors, so you can close the gate remotely. And then here we have the staff gate, so you have a small one, and then he has a big one for like, I don't know, you want to bring in like, I don't know, a carcass or something to feed them. You can bring it through that gate. The Dilophosaurus of the pond, what is your wisdom? Silence is good wisdom, thank you. Okay. Yeah, we can squeeze between these bushes. We can see just how like densely packed it is and how difficult it is to see them, which I really liked. I wanted these to be like the one animals in the zoo that you'll come, but you'll never see because they'll always be hiding away. I can't even find this one. Yeah, there it is. See, we've got the orange skin over here, chilling in the ferns. Anyhow, let's make our way back along this path and we can check out a Dinokairos. So in the future, I do hopefully want to put maybe something like Gallimimus in here. So you have like a mixed species enclosure. We have the Dinokairos in the water and then like Gallimimus or some other ornithischian ostrich looking thing on the land. But for now, the Dinokairos are alone. Going in. Yeah, they do got the little islands, got little trees for them to scratch on. They can also come onto this bank over here. I guess I've seen them come a few times, but they usually don't. They'll usually stick to there. But I think that's cool. It'd be cool if, like, in real life they just came and just set up here every now and again. Even though it probably wasn't intentional for them to be able to get up here. They just found a way. But they don't escape, so you just let them. You can also see the Nasutas aircrafts from here. Just walk along here. And this is probably the best view into the other Nasutoceratops enclosure because we have two enclosures here. The second one doesn't really have a good viewing area, so yeah, from here you kind of have a decent view into it. This is just two males, a batching group, and the other one is two females and a male. Yeah, and that brings us back onto this main part. You can see our 12 or so enclosure. But I did build a second one right next to it. It's kind of alright. It's only to mess around with the foliage and that some more. Yeah, did put another Torvosaurus. I'm hoping in the future we get another theropod, maybe like slightly smaller than this one, like Ceratosaurus or Carnotaurus, and I'll just put them in here. So you have a bit more species variety. But yeah, pretty similar setup to the other one. It's a little viewing, it's a little outpost you can stand on and watch the dinosaurs. We have my bathroom sign for scale over there. And yeah, here's the little quarantine, I guess, space for the Dinokairos, so we just lure them in here with food. You can gate them off if you need to. Yeah, you'll see this shade structure a little bit throughout the zoo. It's one I've made and I really like it. Nice little thing for all these large dinosaurs to come and sit under. And then you also see this type of fence I've used quite a bit, so it's pretty simple, just some thick metal bars, some mesh for if you have like smaller animals so they can't come up. And then the gates are these like sliding gates you just pull open, and then there's also a smaller door in here, so if you don't want to open the whole thing, you can just walk through the door. And over here we have a little building, I don't know what this would be for, maybe filtering or something. I did take these like little, I don't know, water tanks off the workshop. There will be a link to all the blueprints I used in the zoo, so if you want to use them you can. So yeah, there's a lot of water around here, so maybe this building has some filtration or pumping equipment or something like that. I don't know, just want to fill up the space. Yeah, you can see that we can walk along this road, we can see the Dinokairos exhibit from another angle. And now, there is one thing I do want to point out, because someone asked last episode, like, how do you determine what foliage to put in different enclosures and try and make it interesting as well as rock placement and that. So yeah, I figured it will take some time to compare all of these enclosures I've shown off, just to kind of show my thought process in case you were curious about the building. So, as you can see with this Dinokairos exhibit, it's a lot more open. So, with these open spaces, it is quite tricky to make still make it seem interesting. So, what I did here is instead of putting like a whole bunch of bushes and that, there are some bushes here in the back, but I'm thinking maybe the Dinokairos are like very destructive, they just eat a lot of plants, so I didn't want to have a lot of bushes here. So instead, to add some interest, I just put a whole bunch of some rocks here, just like subtly sticking out of the ground, poking out here and there. And then another thing I did was also, you can see the terrain is a little bit hilly, so there's like a small hill there and a slight hill there, and And that just adds a little bit of variation in the terrain, so it makes it a bit more interesting to look at. So even though you don't have a whole lot of plants or foliage or anything, you can still make the terrain interesting. I know I still do have quite a bit of trees in that here and there, but if you compare it to an exhibit like this, that's completely packed and full with plants. So yeah. However, you don't want to like completely fill it with bushes. Like I know I have these tall bushes here and there, and these like, I forgot what these plants are called, but these like tall plants here. You do still need a way for your animals to obviously traverse the exhibit realistically. So what I did was change up the ground cover a little bit. So you see there's a whole bunch of ferns I put down here, which kind of gives the illusion that this place is like filled with plants, but it's not like thick bushes that a dinosaur wouldn't be able to traverse. Where's mine? Okay, I was going to use the Dilophosaurus as a demonstration, but it disappeared. But you know, like these ferns are still low, they're not like covered with thorns or like branches. So if the Dilophosaurus wants to walk through here, it still can. So, but it just gives that illusion that this place is extremely dense and green. Even though, yeah, dinosaur can still easily traverse through here. But we do still have our tall bushes and that just to block some sight lines. And then we can go back to an old exhibit, the Ceratops enclosure. As you can see, I don't have any rocks, but what I did was use terrain paint to kind of add variety to the terrain. So yeah, there's a lot more sand and soil. I suppose they trampled the grass a bit. Yeah, that makes it a bit more interesting to look at, even though you don't have like a lot of plants. Although this enclosure does have quite a few bushes. And yeah, again, also add a couple lumps of mounds of soil. Just add some interest. It was something I saw in an actual rhino exhibit, so that's why I put them in there. Yeah, another thing I also want to talk about is tree guards, because this is something like I wasn't too sure about, as I mentioned in my last episode with all the big mammals things. But yeah, a lot of zoos, they're all like, if you have big animals, you kind of want to protect the trees because they might rub against them and destroy the bark and also push over the tree. So yeah, if you just leave your trees unprotected, there's a chance the animals can destroy them. So what I did was over here I used the tactic of just putting a whole bunch of small rocks around the trees, which I've seen in some large herbivore enclosures like buffalo. So animals, it'll be uncomfortable obviously to walk along the rocks. I know for ungulates at least. I'm not sure if a dinosaur wouldn't mind having a bunch of small like rocks under their feet. I assume not, but yeah. So the keepers just probably put this here to kind of protect the trees, stop the Dinocaris from rubbing against them. And you can still have trees in this enclosure. And then also have dead trees. Obviously we don't care about dead trees because they're already dead, so yeah, if the dinosaurs want, they can come and rub themselves against here. There are other methods you can use to protect trees, so come back all the way over here, like here with the Intricatheres, or the Paraceratheriums. I put like the classical tree cages around them, because I imagine there's a lot bigger dinosaurs, and this is also a fairly smaller enclosure, so they'll be in contact with the trees a lot more often. So there's a lot bigger chance that they'll damage or push down the trees. So that's why I put the cages to protect them. Yeah, there is quite a variety of ways zoos use to incorporate trees. Like I have seen some rhino enclosures where the trees just straight up aren't protected, and have seen some rhino enclosures where some trees are protected and other trees aren't. And some trees will have cages around them, some will have rocks around them, and some will be bare. So yeah, I don't think there's an exact science how to protect the trees. Yeah, I'm just guessing it's a bigger space, so, and there's a lot of trees, so maybe the rhinos won't just have these Cynotheriums, not actual other rhinos. They're in the same family. But anyway, you know what I mean. They won't destroy all the trees. And like here, we also have another Paraceratherium, Yeah, I'm thinking it's just the one guy, and again, there's a lot of trees, so he might take down a few, but he won't bring down the entire forest, so there's no need to put guards around each and every one of these trees. Maybe what I could do is actually put like some guards around some of the trees. Maybe those ones are like a bit more vulnerable. Maybe still smaller, like these ones are younger trees, so it'd be a lot more easier for him to take this down, so you'd want to protect them. Yeah, anyway, that's just a little thought process into what goes into building these enclosures and foliage. So yeah, this zoo is especially tricky because like in real life zoos, you'd only have like a few animals that are this size, maybe like elephants or rhinos. But here we have all these dinosaurs and all of them are absolutely massive, so you got to think a little bit more about how to protect your foliage and what they'll do. So yeah, we can carry along the tour this way. I know you might be antsy to see the big old dinosaur that was in the thumbnail. I assume it was in the thumbnail. I haven't made the thumbnail, but there's no way I didn't put Spinosaurus in the thumbnail. But before we check out the Spinosaurus, we do got one more sail back to look over. Of course, the Tyrannosaurus. So yeah, we finally have some actual African dinosaurs in our African dinosaur zoo. And we have the Tyrannosaurus from West and North Africa. I think it's Niger in West Africa or North Africa? I think it's both. Either way, we got them. So yeah, the enclosure, it starts like over here. We have a little elevated walkway. You can come, you can sit down under the shade, and you can just walk along here. Big field. We also have some of these rocks underneath the trees to protect them. Got a little couple shade structures for them over here. And we have the big old pool, which they're all gathering around. They can swim in and drink from. Yeah, pretty simple enclosure design. You can see, like, in a lot of these enclosures, I do just put up this rock wall. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention earlier. Here at the Dinotyrus, as you can see, there's like this retaining wall. The reason why I had to do this two-tiered retaining wall is just because the terrain works in this game. I could only get as you can see, the terrain sticking out a little bit there, so I could have realistically pulled this out, come on. I could have like had the wall come all the way out here, but I felt like this would have been too big of just like I don't know, I guess like green space. So what I did was I had a smaller little shelf here and then the secondary shelf down here. As you can see over here, a lot of the plants have gone because I imagine the Dinotyrus came and just nibbled on them, and a couple of them made it through. Whereas over here, a lot more plants and foliage. So maybe this guy, he isn't so too keen to come and browse on these ones. So yeah, a lot more plants here. That's another thing you can think of when doing your foliage. What plants will the animals eat? And what will they trample? But anyway, let's Tyrannosaurus. Come over here, we have another little seating area. Here's my new little model I made for scale and forgot to remove. And we can walk down this pathway over here. We have this new wooden fence. It came with the last update, didn't it? I think so. I decided to keep with the wooden fence because, they're not that big and maybe they aren't super aggressive, so just a simple fence to keep them in. No need to waste budget. And we come over here, we have a little backstage area. Partly for the Tyrannosaurus, but mostly... Oh! We have someone coming in the backstage area. Looks like it. As you can see, it's for our Spinosaurus. We have two enclosures to separate them off here. We do have the feeding trays and some shade structures. But yeah, is that guy? No. Looks like he's not coming through, but we will go see him in the main enclosure if we continue around this road. This part of the zoo obviously unfinished. We'll get back to that in the future. Here we have a little path we can veer off. As you can see with this enclosure, I decided to change it up a little bit. We've got some concrete pillars which just painted green blends in nicer with the plants, the foliage. Yeah, we have our first viewing area for... Oh, no, he was going backstage. Damn, it was too slow. Anyway, yeah, nice little thatch structure, some benches, some seating in the middle as well. Let's see, our Spinosaurus. We do have two of them in here. We have our first one over here, coming to nibble on some fish in the back here. And our second one, I believe we just saw her in the water. You can see the sail over there. Let's take a closer look. I really like this one because this one is melanistic. Yeah, completely black Spinosaurus. It's very, to be honest, quite creepy honestly, but yeah, it's not like it. As you can see there's a little bit of a... This isn't the only way you can view the Spinosaurus. There's a bit of an elevated walkway over there, which you can check out if you just continue along this pathway. Nice about this path, you can still kind of see, you can still see her over the wall. Let's walk over here. We have an intersection. In the future, I'll probably just have this connect down to the main path. Come along this big old elevated walkway and take a nice view to the Spinosaurus enclosure. So yeah, we have a big old pool for them. There's a shallower section over here, there's a deeper section here, so they can swim or wade depending on whatever scientific literature these keepers read to them at night. I don't know why she's sitting in the pool, but I really like this feature where there's this big old ledge, so they can kind of stand up there and just like, I don't know, it's a really cool point. Oh. Got a Spinosaurus. Over here we do have a little fence down here because this wooden walkway wouldn't be enough, a little bit of mesh wouldn't be enough to keep them in, so we've got big old metal gates here to keep them in. Yeah, and here's our like second viewing area, our elevated viewing platform. Keep forgetting to put benches in these. In the future I'll put some benches, but yeah. Gives a nice view. If they're like sometimes up here, it's a really cool, like, you're almost at level, eye level with them. Down below. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this enclosure has turned out. Keep walking along this pathway. Eventually this area on the other side will be a big enclosure for a lot of herbivores, a lot of hadrosaurs, but it's not done yet. Like this, yeah. That's unfinished stuff that needs to connect to that. And then... Anyhow, there'll be a big enclosure. I think that'll be like next episode, or the episode after that. Still not sure what I'm going to do next episode. But you can walk along here. We do have a bit more of a forested area where maybe the Spinosauruses come through, but probably not. I imagine the big old sail will kind of like, I don't know, might get stuck on some of the low branches or something like that, or hit the low branches, so I assume they would avoid the sail. That's also why I made a lot more bush here, like they don't trample the plants in that case, so yeah. See, here's the border fence for this enclosure. That will be in the future. And we walk along here and we get to our Tyrannosaurus again. We keep walking down. As you can see, here's another little pathway coming along here. It's another way to enter the enclosure. Because there is like the gate back there, but I imagine you wouldn't want to take a Tyrannosaurus in and out there just because it's in direct view of the Spinosaurus, so they might get freaked out. But over here, it's a nice little private way. We can go check it out. And yeah, it brings us right back here. let's just fly along here. Head down this pathway just so you can see where everything is. This is the road that takes us to the Smilodon and the lion backstage. You can see you also have some holding pens for some of the hadrosaurs that will be in the big enclosure. I've already put some of them in. And we have this path that goes down here to a little water treatment building, I guess. Yeah, got some big old pools. I just used some of the glass pieces for this to kind of get that effect, but these are raw water. Yeah, so this is where water is, I guess, being treated, purified, making sure everything's okay before pumping them into all these enclosures. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything we have to show for today. I think we can take a bit of a bird's eye view of the Spinosaurus enclosure. Melanistic female, and then there's our regular guy. With a more crocodilian skin. All the Spinosaurus skins are really great. Spinosaurus models also really well done. I'm really happy to have them in the game. These are one of my favorite dinosaurs. So, we also had to get a really nice enclosure. And we can take a bird's eye view of the Tyrannosaurus and the Dinochirus, which is, like I said, hopefully in the future we can mix them with something. And then a Tyrannosaurus, which hopefully we can put like a Baryonyx or something in here. Not with the Tyrannosaurus, I'll take it out, don't worry. Yeah, a Dilophosaurus, which you cannot even see from above because of all the trees, which I love. Yeah, that's the state of Giants Valley, I guess, for now. Hope you enjoyed watching, and that's it. Hopefully we can see you in the next episode. Bye!